Hello everyone and welcome back to the podcast. While everyone is crying about AMD stock, guess who's all in on the company? Well, you guessed it, Mark Zuckerberg. While analysts are downgrading the stock and citing some very feeble research and some very unfounded conclusions, Mark Zuckerberg is all in on this company, and there's a lot of people selling and losing their money and so forth, and essentially missing out on a huge long-term opportunity, which I'm going to explain in this podcast. Essentially what's happening is that AMD has an advantage over Nvidia in the inference market, which in turn will be much larger than the training market. And so analysts are looking for signs of traction on the training side of the equation. AMD is doing all right there, but obviously not as big as Nvidia, but they're missing out the opportunity ahead. This is how Lisa Su turned the company back around. When her board was saying, hey, you should get into tablets and stuff like that, Lisa was betting on the non-obvious business opportunity that lay ahead and executing successfully. Exactly the same thing is going on now, and people are just looking in the wrong place. So let's get deep into it, and let me explain why this company is going to do so incredibly well in the coming few years. Analysts are increasingly unsure about AMD, with HSBC's Frank Lee double downgrading the stock last week from buy to sell. I think he had a price target of just over $200, and now it's down to $100, which in any case says that this guy had no idea what he was doing since the beginning, because fundamentally the company hasn't changed in between these two price targets. So obviously some fishy business going on in there one way or another, but essentially, meanwhile, Meta's Mark Zuckerberg has gone all in on AMD by running Llama's inferences on AMD's MI300X exclusively. Zuckerberg's move is indicative of AMD's superiority on the inference side of the equation, which currently the market fails to understand. The inference market is going to be much larger than the training market, because once you train an AI model, you make many inferences with it. The demand for training GPUs is behind Nvidia's meteoric revenue growth that you can see depicted in the graph below. Hence, if AMD is as well positioned for the inference market as I believe, we are likely to see a similar revenue growth curve in the years ahead. My view of AMD's positioning for the inference market stems from a first principles understanding of the physics behind the chips. All chips do is move electrons around the place to perform arithmetic operations. Since AI models are quite large, the closer you can place the memory engine, where you actually store the AI model, to the actual compute engine, where then the model gets used, the less distance the electrons have to go. This equates to lower latency and ultimately, very importantly, faster and cheaper inferences. What gives AMD its advantage on the inference side is the Chiplet platform, which allows AMD to mix and match different compute engines at a marginal cost. For the MI300X, this platform has enabled them to introduce more memory on chip than Nvidia's alternative, which is ultimately why Meta has picked the MI300X to make inferences with Llama exclusively. Again, I make particular emphasis on that term because I don't believe people understand that Meta is using AMD's hardware to actually perform inferences with its top model across all of its family of apps. In this interview that I'm going to be showing you next, Lisa explains that AMD has oriented the MI300 to capitalize on the inference opportunity. She also explains that there won't be a single chip for all AI workloads, but rather that there will be a broad range of them that will excel at specific AI workloads. Thus, while legacy analysts are looking for signs of traction for AMD GPUs on the training side, they are completely missing the point. The platform not only gives AMD an advantage on the inference side, but it will also enable them to capitalize on emerging AI workloads in a way that other competitors likely won't be able to.
MI300?
MI300, you got it.
You heard it here first. Performance-wise, this is going to be competitive with the H100 or exceed the H100?
It is definitely going to be competitive from training workloads type things. But one of the things that we've done, and in the AI market, there's no one-size-fits-all as it relates to chips. There are some that are going to be exceptional for training. There are some that are going to be exceptional for inference, and that depends on how you put it together. What we've done with MI300 is we've built an exceptional product for inference, especially large language model inference. So when we look going forward, much of what work is done right now is companies kind of training and deciding what their models are going to be. But going forward, we actually think inference is going to be a larger market, and that plays well into some of what we've designed MI300 for.
Meta going all in on the MI300X is testament to the power of AMD's platform. AMD's Chiplet platform enables them to repurpose the chip to any specific AI workload at a marginal cost. This means that as the demand for specialized workload arises, we'll see AMD get ahead, as we are seeing with inference now. Indeed, legacy analysts are not only failing to understand AMD's edge on the inference side, but also the long-term implications of its platform. As evidence of this, consider the difference between the MI300A and the MI300X. The MI300A contains 3 CPU tiles, where the MI300X contains 3 GPU tiles, ultimately catering for decidedly disparate end AI workloads. The cost of this modification is marginal for AMD because the Chiplet platform enables them to swap computing units within the chip easily. People on X had a tough time believing that Meta's Llama runs inferences exclusively on the MI300X this week, so I had to upload the snippet that I'm going to show you now of AMD's Advancing AI event in October 2024. During this clip, you will hear Meta's Kevin Salvatore, VP of Infrastructure, Supply Chain and Engineering, say that, quote unquote, all Meta Live traffic has been served using the MI300X exclusively due to its large memory capacity and TCO, which stands for total cost of ownership. By live traffic, he's referring to inferences, and his words confirm essentially why my thesis for AMD's competitive advantage stemming from its unique platform are correct and factual. Right after that statement, you'll pick up on 3 critical data points which I want you to remember. 1, Meta is working on deploying MI300X for training workloads too. 2, both Meta and AMD are culturally aligned around the idea of open software versus Nvidia's closed ecosystem. And 3, the feedback loop between the two companies is fast across the full stack, with them collaborating on the MI350 and MI400 series already.
We are also so excited about our AI work together. One of the things I've been incredibly impressed by is just how fast you've adopted and ramped MI300 for your production workloads. Can you tell us more about how you're using MI300?
I can. So, as you know, we like to move fast at Meta, and the deep collaboration between our teams from top to bottom, combined with really a rigorous optimization of our workloads, has enabled us to get MI300 qualified and deployed into production very, very quickly. And the collective teamwork to go through whatever challenge came up along the way has just been amazing to see how the teams work really well together. And MI300X in production has been really instrumental in helping us scale our AI infrastructure, particularly powering inference with very high efficiency. And as you know, we're super excited about Llama and its growth, particularly in July when we launched Llama 405B, the first frontier-level open-source AI model with 405 billion parameters, and all Meta Live traffic has been served using MI300X exclusively due to its large memory capacity and TCO advantage. It's been a great partnership, and based on that success, we're continuing to find new areas where Instinct can offer competitive TCO for us. So we're already working on several training workloads, and what we love is culturally we're really aligned around, from a software perspective, around PyTorch, Triton, and our Llama models, which has been really key for our engineers to land the products and services we want in production quickly, and it's just been great to see.
I really have to say, Kevin, when I think about Meta, we do so much on the day-to-day trying to ensure that the infrastructure is good. But one of the things I like to say is you guys are really good at providing feedback. And I think we're pretty good at maybe listening to some of that feedback. But look, we're talking about roadmap today. Meta's had substantial input to our Instinct roadmap, and I think that's so necessary when you're talking about all of the innovation on hardware and software. Can you share a little bit about that work?
Sure. Well, the problems we're trying to solve as we scale and develop these new AI experiences, they're really difficult problems to solve. And it only makes sense for us to work together on what those problems are and kind of align on, what you can build into future products. And what we love is we're doing that across the full stack, from silicon to systems and hardware to software to applications, from top to bottom. And we've really appreciated the deep engagement of your team, and you guys do listen, and we love that. And what that means is we're pretty excited. The Instinct roadmap's going to address more and more use cases and really continue to enhance performance and efficiency as we go forward and scale. And we're already collaborating together on MI350 and the MI400 series platforms. And we think that's ultimately going to be to AMD building better products. And for Meta, it helps us continue to deliver industry-leading AI experiences for the world. So we're really excited about that.
Kevin, thank you so much for your partnership. Thank you to your teams for all the hard work that we're doing together. And we look forward to doing a lot more together in the future.
Yeah, thank you, Lisa.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, wonderful. Look, I hope you've heard a little bit from our customers and partners as to how we really like to bring co-innovation together. Because yes, it's about our roadmap, but it's also about how we work together to really optimize across the stack.
All of the things that I've explained previously in this video means that AMD is likely to have a quote-unquote Nvidia moment in the next few years as the inference market explodes. In my MongoDB deep dive, which you can find here or in my Substack or on X or whatever, I learned that AI apps have not achieved widespread traction yet, but I believe Meta's evolution is a taste of things to come. Their apps have become incredibly addictive over the past 2 years, essentially driven by AI inferences. Therefore, I don't think it will take long for the rest of the economy to become inference-driven, as I predicted in my original AMD deep dive, greatly benefiting AMD in turn. The conversation between Lisa Su and Meta's Kevin Salvatore also reveals that the two companies are working together for the long term. An underappreciated characteristic of AMD's platform is that it enables rapid iteration. AMD dethroned Intel by working closely with customers and using their feedback to make better products. The same dynamic is at play with a market that's set to grow explosively. So my take from this update is that 1, it's a very bad idea to bet against this company at present. 2, I believe that this stock is now entering the fortune-making zone. All right, so that's it for today. As always, if you enjoyed it, can I please ask you to share this with one friend? These deep dives are for free, so the only way this grows is with your help. Thank you very much in advance. Take care, and until next time.